This is the Tabernacle Podcast with Isabel Crawford, Haley Kroupa, Josh Sprunger, and me, John Vermilia. What's up, friends?
Hey. How's it going?
What's up, friends?
I'm proud of you for saying my last name the right way.
What? Well, what did you think I was going to say? Kroupa? Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's Kroupa.
Good
It's a
job.
common
I've been
occurrence.
saying Kroupa for a while.
Well, I'm just proud of you
Oh.
because you were on air, so you were on
I was
pressure.
on air.
Yeah.
It was like pressure.
Mhm.
When
did
you were on the
good.
podcast the last time, did I say it wrong?
Probably.
I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
I think I got corrected. So I came correct.
You practiced.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, no. I was corrected years ago. So I want to
Good job.
make sure I
Good
came
job.
correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and Isabel, I don't know why I called you friends because you're a daughter.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right. I'm a friend too.
Yeah. Friend and daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're wondering why the few words from Isabel, she was roped into this podcast exactly 15 minutes ago.
I was. Yep.
No, that is not exactly true. You knew that there was a podcast that was happening. There was just
Yes.
something beyond your control.
I said okay to this podcast, but a date was not told to me, nor a time.
But you're displaying,
But I'm here.
yeah, outstanding staff flexibility because
Mhm.
here you are. So,
Yep. You're welcome.
and Josh, you flew in from where? Bloomington, Indiana?
Oh, I wish, but all the way from County Line Road, just down the road.
County Line
Did you
Road.
run here? Wow.
I did get 4 miles in this morning, but I
Oh,
did
the
drive
guy's
here.
just showing off, man. Come on, it's 40 degrees outside.
Oh, it's a runner's dream.
You run every day, don't you?
I
Outside?
do. Yeah, yeah.
He's just running. Like when I pass Josh, excuse me, usually it's like on Hassel Road or 4 Road, or he's about to go around Gitchy Gumi. He's on his 8th mile.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I haven't even finished my morning coffee, right?
I thought about stopping in to see if you want to join.
Well, and he looks like
Not gonna
he's
happen.
just super relaxed, and you're probably more out of breath driving than he is running.
Thank you. Exactly. Right. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever I see him, I always think of Forrest Gump. I always think of Forrest Gump, and I'm like, he is running. He's a running fool.
Yep.
The number one joke runners get. Thank you.
Oh, come on. Hey, my grandson's name is Forrest.
Yeah.
Your son.
Yep.
Yes. He's the best. Anyways, thanks for being on today. By way of introduction, Isabel and Haley are children's ministry directors at Isabel at the Buckley campus, Haley at the Cadillac campus, respectively. And Josh is one of our primo Tab Kids
Teachers,
teachers.
Yeah, the real OG.
Also,
pastors, yeah.
teacher, pastor, what else you call it? Security, hype man.
All of the above.
Are you the dance master too? Like
I'm-
if dancing's involved?
I like a good dance. Yeah.
It's- it
Little
can-
dance party, storytelling. I mean, just give
Little
me the,
dance
give me the
party. Hey.
microphone.
Yeah.
Hey, for an ex-Methodist, that's pretty good.
It is pretty good. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The stunt man.
Yeah,
The
I wish I could.
stuntman.
I wish I
Game
could double
master.
him because he's the kid's favorite. I'm like, man, every campus needs a Josh.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason we're doing this podcast is, and we don't have a huge agenda, but there's some important things that I'd like you guys to have the opportunity to share with us. Maybe some insights into what goes on with kids ministry at our church in particular and at churches in general that makes it so important. I've said it before, I don't think it's hyperbole. I genuinely believe this. Outside of the core gathering of believers at a church, any church, I don't care how big or how small, right? The scripture tells us to not stop coming together, to not stop meeting together as some are in the habit of doing. So the most important part of a church is actually the gathering, the people coming together as far as ministries go. If there's a number one priority outside of that, it is next generation ministry. It is the ministry to our kids, to our junior high students, to our high school students. If you just lump all of those together, in my opinion, because the scriptures tell us that we're to train up the next generation. So Deuteronomy chapter 6, this is the place where we first hear the Shema. This is the book of the Bible where we hear you are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. And it says in chapter 6, verses 6 and 7, these commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road and when you lie down and when you get up. And it's this picture that forever we're supposed to be training our children. Not forever as in when they leave my house, but forever as in the everyday, in the morning, at breakfast, at bedtime story, at church, and communicating in a way that they can understand. So let's just start with that. Like let's talk about the importance of children's ministry. That it's not a daycare. It's not a hey, get the kids out of the auditorium because they're a distraction. That's not our hearts. Somebody want to go first? What do you see with no notes? What's the most important part of the why of children's ministry?
I'll go first. For me, kind of everything you just said in that Bible verse, what pops out for me is the role for that command is kind of for the parents. Our job is to kind of come alongside, but we only get them for an hour a week. So for me, my goal and what I love about our lesson planning and all of that is everything is designed to kind of make these little parts of this story stick in the kids' head throughout their day, throughout their week. And my hope is that when they go home from church, they have a topic to bring up or something, just little nuggets of the story to remember and hopefully create a conversation in their own house, as well as they're learning tools to like actually know how to read the Bible. Where is that book found? Where is that? What's the big number mean and the little number? And just all of that can kind of help them so that when they go home with their families that are hopefully talking about this stuff, it just like gives them those blocks that.
So it's a coming alongside.
Yeah.
It isn't like, that's a great perspective. We only
like
have
we
it for
are
an
not
hour a week.
their children's pastor,
Right.
Soul pastor. We're a aid to the families and then also a light to those that don't have homes that are teaching them about Jesus.
Right. And from a theological perspective, thank you for that correction. That was actually, that's a great perspective. I wasn't even thinking about that. That is actually aimed at parents in particular, but there's also a general principle that we're to teach them to the next generation. But you put it in context of, hey, we only get them for an hour. We're to come alongside you here, and put it in a way I think that they can understand.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking of, I'll say it in public. I'm not trying to create a competition, but my favorite Ray of all the Rays, Adam and Rachel Ray. Adam's our executive pastor, and they have 4 wonderful children. My favorite Ray is Graylin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's my man, right? So what is he, 4, 3?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4, right. And apparently just a few weeks ago, we were all excited, or Adam was all excited because he actually went to Tab Kids, and he didn't freak out, and he had a great time. And on the way home, he was telling him all about Jonah.
Yeah.
And he was, Dad, there's this guy named Jonah, and did you know he was swallowed by a fish? And then he spit him out. And then he swallowed him again.
Yeah, and we're like, but
so Adam got the chance.
Got a little bit.
Yeah. So the seed was planted, and then Adam was like, well, he didn't get swallowed twice, but yeah. Haley, what about you with Tab Kids?
I forgot the initial question at this point.
Well, you don't remember anything that I say. That goes all the way back to youth group days, but whatever.
I do my best.
No, the importance of children's men.
Yeah.
From your perspective.
I think my favorite part about it is seeing the relationships that happen in those rooms with the leaders and the students. And for me personally, seeing them all the way up to youth group age. It's really cool to build those relationships. So then they want to come in when they get older for youth group versus kids that might be super nervous about starting a youth group with nobody they know. So
that's right, because you've been involved with all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
you've been involved with youth and with children. Yeah.
I like all the way from nursery up. Even nursery I used to think of it as more of a daycare setting, but the more you see that these babies know the leaders in there, they're more apt to come to you when you're in there frequently rather than just getting handed to another stranger.
Right.
So even in the even in with the babies, it's not about daycare. It's about the relationships. Yep.
100%. And that's an excellent point that I've seen in action. So full disclosure, I have 2 grandchildren. Mm-hmm. We know this. Mm-hmm. They're your children. Mm-hmm. They're my grandchildren. Yeah. And there are times when I like to dip into the nursery just to say, hey, what's up, little Forest man? And when he's sitting in the floor and all these other people, he knows them. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, I'm Pop, so I don't have to compete. But you can see that there's an affinity with this. What is he, 15 months old now?
Something like that.
Something like that. He's 1, right?
Yeah.
1-year-old kid, he has facial recognitions with some of these people, and they know who he is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a loving, safe, caring spot.
Yeah, so it's like coming along with the parents, it's also just like building those relationships with the kids so that they come to know you as well. And then they just get more excited about coming to church and learning about Jesus. And in those harder teenage years, they're more likely to come back. They know where to find their people.
Yeah. This is a safe place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the relationships for me.
Josh, what about you? But let's just say this. You're one of my heroes because having been as a church, it'll be 22 years, I think, in November. Forever, or it seems like it's an ongoing thing where I want to see more men involved, especially with kids ministry. Yeah. And some of the manliest dudes I know, yourself included, have stepped up for the past decade and have been helping with kids ministry. And I just think that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And being a leader there, being a face. But what's the importance of it for you?
Yeah. I think what they're talking about, building relationships, it's huge. But I want to comment on the verse that you just brought up in Deuteronomy. The picture that always goes through my head when I read that verse is this idea of when you walk along the road or when you're along the road. Clearly, this was a time before cars. What was happening? So, and nowadays, if you want to put it in 2025 terms, it's, hey, when you're driving home with your kids, ask them what they did in Tab Kids. And so, I even encourage the kids, hey, when you're going home, make sure you tell your kids tell your parents what you learned today. And this idea of creating the conversation of the stories that they're talking. I mean, it basically just piggybacks off of little Ray when he's so excited about the story. And so for me to bring the stories to life. To say, hey, this isn't just some made up fairy tales that you read in a book. These are real, actual stories that happened, and these are this is God's word, a real God that we serve, and to get them excited about it, and then to get them to say, and now go home and tell your parents about it, and if you want to read more about it. Here's where you can find it, and so like what Isabel's talking about is helping them learn where the books are. How to go find the chapter, the verses. But for me, it's to see them light up when these stories come to life, and that they're actual events that have happened, and then they can go and share it too. That's what motivates me to continue to serve, and then the idea that these relationships that are being built with the kids, and when you consistently show up. And they're recognizing you even when you're out in the community. It's cool. But
yeah, I'm sure you get Mr. Josh everywhere you go.
Yeah, I do have a full disclosure to make. I liked your prompting of how you talked about men stepping up. But I got to reference my big fat Greek wedding. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the scenes in there that me and my wife Jess talk about a lot is when the daughter's trying to go off to college and the dad's not on board with it, and the mom pulls the daughter aside. Just remember, your dad's the head of the house, but the head doesn't turn without the neck.
The head doesn't turn without the neck.
And so we joke around about
there's a stiff neck in my household.
Better edit that out. But no, the idea is So Jess was Tab Kids director during COVID, and I was always involved with the youth. And so the youth, I was a youth pastor for 8 years. Always enjoyed the teenage. I love that age where they think they know everything, and and just makes for great conversations. Yeah, exactly.
They're the smartest people in the world.
Smartest people in the world. Yes, you can learn a lot.
18-year-olds, the smartest people in the world. Yeah.
But when Jess said, "Hey, there's a need for the Tab Kids," and because I'm the leader, you're getting thrown in, and so I got thrown into the Tab Kids, and now I absolutely love it. But
no, that's huge. And
I think an encouragement for other leaders listening to this is like the reason why you do love it is because you study up on these stories, you read the lessons, you practice out these like skits that you perform for the kids to make it fun where they're listening to you and they're not having their own conversations or playing or getting into trouble over here. Like you're keeping their attention the whole time. And I think that's should be a big encouragement for other volunteers. Like if you want to, keep your room engaged, keep your kids there and having fun, like study up on those lessons and be ready to tell the story and make it come to life like you do.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting to me. So Pastor John Williams is our campus pastor, and he came in the office one day, and he's just cackling, and he's got to tell me a story, and it has to do with. Sorry, I'm not trying to make this all about my grandkids, but I do feel sorry for other grandparents that they don't that they think their grandkids are great because they have no idea what greatness is, right?
oh my goodness.
Anyways, so Avonlea, our Avy Bean. She's been hanging out a lot with what the kids call Grandma Barb, right? She calls her Miss Barb, Grandma Barb, whatever you want to call her. That's John's wife. And she's also a rock star within our Tab Kids program. She's a great storyteller. And Avy was being babysat at her house, but she's also involved in Tab Kids. And apparently, if I get the story right, she really, really wanted to know where the story with all the pictures were going to be. Where's the picture board?
The pictures on the wall, she
yes,
said.
the pictures on the wall. And it took Barb a little minute to figure out because Barb's old. Yeah, go ahead.
She was like, "Do you mean my flannel graph?"
The flannel graph.
She's like, "You have to tell your dad because you always make fun of flannel graphs."
And it's a part of my shtick is to say, this is more than just a flannel graph when you were a little kid. And Barb was like defending the flannel graph.
Like,
she told her husband to tell me that the kids love where the characters are always pointing the same direction. So you got to figure out how to tell the story with only two poses of Jesus.
The pictures in their head work.
But they work. They absolutely work. And I mean no disrespect to that because I still have flannel graph images in my brain. They say the majority of Christians first heard about Jesus as a child or as a student in a church. And so it is, or going back to the first thing, short of us not being able to meet together, I think the most important ministry of a church outside the worship service is our children, all the way up through high school, presenting the gospel in a way that they can understand. What are some of the biggest challenges that you guys are facing? They can be particular to your campus or in children's ministry in general. What are the ongoing challenges that you see within our church?
Of course, it's always getting more volunteers. But
why is that so hard? Let's just listen. Let's be direct. Let's be real.
That's the second part of it is the behaviors in the classroom.
Okay.
And so I think I spoke on it when I was talking about how Josh leads the class. A lot of it is being prepared for the lesson to keep the kids entertained and keep the attention on him.
Engaged.
Engaged.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. That really affects the behaviors that are going on in the classroom.
So I think what I hear you saying is if you're not prepped, if you thought you were just going to come and work with Tab Kids and, be playing Candy Crush, then we're going to have problems.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you're reading
No one does that. I'm not suggesting that anyone's playing Candy Crush in the Crush. Yeah.
But they're often like reading over the lesson as kids are in there waiting for them to, do the lesson. So
as opposed to, I'm ready. I brought props.
Yeah. Josh is ready to go. Yeah, he keeps them engaged the whole time.
I'm going for a daytime Emmy over here.
Did you have like a leaf blower or something on you for summer camp? Was that something that
he
happened?
had a real leaf blower that was releasing fumes into the classroom that were so strong that we had to stop and we had to open all the windows and the doors, and then we had to go find an electric one so that he could continue because it was
so
hit.
Either
the
those kids were sleeping,
they were also a a
or
loopy. I think.
Didn't think that one through too well.
I'm not sure that's gonna breed confidence that I want to put
Please
my
don't
kids
bring a leaf blower on Sunday.
don't bring a leaf.
That was a special time.
No, but you're saying really prepared teachers.
Yeah, super
when they're
prepared
super prepared
definitely helps.
Helps with the behaviors in the class, and then alongside that is being like Isabel was talking about. We're not their parents, so if we come to you with a concern, it's not because we're upset or disappointed in the kid. We're trying to help. Like we're trying to figure out as a team how we can better help your kid to have more fun in the rooms. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or how they learn better. Like some kids are more visual. Some kids are they like to play with music more. Some kids are hands-on. And so I just think, like consistency is important with volunteers. I would say that's something we run into a lot is we'll get people who serve once a month, which is wonderful, but when they go like a month without or something and then they come back in, they're like, I don't know any of these kids. I don't know any of, their personalities are also different.
Yep.
So I just think it's better when teachers can kind of learn their kids a little bit more and, consistency, similar service, multiple times a month if possible. Then they can just get used to seeing the same faces. Oh, I know this kid. I know how.
Right.
I know what to do. I can pull them in. I can reel them in a little bit.
Right. And then everyone has a better time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's exciting to me to hear that. I mean, I'm assuming that's a real scenario. When a teacher, a volunteer, serving in Tab Kids knows a kid well enough to go, hey, I got this one.
Yeah.
Because that speaks to I've got a connection and to compassion and care.
Yep.
That this isn't just a problem. I'm not just here doing daycare duties.
Right.
What are some other challenges that you might see? Are you thinking of any, Josh, that they don't?
Yeah.
Or they haven't already mentioned?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, so much a challenge as even like a solution with the volunteers is, they talk a lot about how the storytelling that I do, but I think the reality is some people might say, well, I'm not a storyteller, good
point.
Yeah, so then, what do I have to offer in Tab Kids? And I think my encouragement is for the people that come and volunteer is saying, you have been given a gift though.
Yes.
And trying to define, okay, how can I use my God-given gifts to help bring the stories to life for the kids? And I'll be the first to admit I'm not a crafting person, but there's
but they're crafting people in the room that are getting crafts ready while you're doing story time.
Yeah. And so encouraging people. I think so that where I'm going with this is like knowing your gifting, defining your role, and coming in and say, hey, how can I play a role in Tab Kids with what God's gifted me to do? Because we have I'm super encouraged. I think here in the last month we've had
really awesome.
We've had 5 new leaders come in. You guys are doing an awesome job recruiting and getting out there, and I think the encouragement to them is because when you have people in the room, it's messy. You have kids in the room, it's even more messy. If you can encourage them to say, hey, this isn't going to be a cookie cutter approach. You guys are giving us the resources to go out there, but then how can we, use our gifting with the students and continuing? Because I think that's probably one of the most, I would say, you guys have probably frustration from leaders is, well, I was just kind of crazy in there this week, and it's like, well, that's not they're kids.
It's going to be a little crazy.
It's going to be a little crazy, but how
it's not going to be quiet.
But how is it that God's gifted you to come in and help with these kids and focus and take the focus on that with the challenges?
Well, those are your choices. I mean, you can go and have fun with a bunch of crazy kids, or you can sit in church where somebody's preaching and John's going to yell at you for 37 minutes. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. No yelling. One of my favorite stories, and this has to do with men and serving and volunteers. And I don't want to start any fights over here. We have Lord Matthew Corey. He was part of the tech, or he's our tech director, but also part of the creative arts team. So my nephew, Cody Kuhn, has been a part of Tab Kids for about the last
About a year. Yeah.
about a year.
Mhm.
And I knew he was serving. And, he's super busy, works the golf course all summer long. And I pulled him aside one Sunday, and, I hadn't seen him in a couple weeks. I mean, he'd been at church. We just hadn't run into one another. And I said something to the effect of, hey, man, when are we going to see you back on the worship team? Because he's a guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, you're not going to see me there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like in summer. And I said something to the effect of, oh, will you be on in the winter when it's slower at the golf course? Because that was kind of the rhythm. He said, no, you're not going to see me on there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I just felt really, really convicted about the importance of kids men and that we need men there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm sick and tired. And podcast family, I'm not saying this. This is what Cody said, right? This is not a paid commercial. And Matt, please don't get mad. He said, you can get anybody to play guitar. He said, we got so many guitar players. Now, Matt might disagree, but that's what he said. He said, you can get much better guitar players than me. He said, but we need men in Tab Kids, and I'm tired of the excuse that people are too busy.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, everybody's busy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was like, can I get you on video?
Yeah, that's
because in his busiest time, he was serving with kids. He did the VBS week. And I didn't know that until you sent me photos. I'm like, what's Cody doing there? He has no life in July, right? But all of our volunteers, not just Cody, not just the men, the women, teenagers that make it happen, we value them so greatly. Yeah. Here's a question I don't know if you thought about before. Both of you, Isabel and Haley, you're on staff, and you're one of our Rockstar volunteers. But whether you're paid or not paid, you still have to be motivated, because it isn't like the pay is so great that it's like Brad can just retire because you're the Cadillac Tab Kids director, or Jacob can just have a gaming fest for the next 6 months because you're working. What is your motivation? Like, what is it that gets you up in the morning, whether it's on a weekend? And I know it's not every week because we all go through life, but what is the primary core motivation? What is the flame that motivates you to minister this important ministry for the kingdom in this way? Can you quantify it? Can you put words to it at all?
I mean, I think I just genuinely love these children. That was a hard word for me apparently today.
Yeah.
I love them. And it's really fun to see them grow in their knowledge of Jesus and just in their friendships with the other kids in the class. And like with how they relate to me as well. Like I love these kids. And I think that's how the majority of leaders feel. How could it not make you smile when you walk into a classroom, they're like, hey, Miss Haley. I love it. I love these kids. So that's where I think that's how important it is to me.
Yeah, that's what it is for you.
Yeah.
Well, you're a kid at heart.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah. No, and I do. I love kids. I love to have fun with kids. They just make me smile, but 75% of the time.
Right.
So
who doesn't love a kid?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's unfair. I mean, I have heard some people say, I love my kids. I don't like other people's kids.
I mean, I definitely feel that way sometimes as well. There's moments. We all have our moments.
But
for the most part, I love these kids.
So it's love for the kids and seeing them connected. Belle, what about you?
Well, I came to know Jesus pretty young. I think I was like 4. And I did all the kids ministry from then till they were like kicked me out and said you can't be here anymore. And I loved it. I just I always had fun. There was always that fun element, which is so important, and it's just like important that like people like Haley are part of our team and stuff to remind me you can have more fun. We complement each other. I just love when seeing children have a genuine love and understanding of Jesus and the gospel. And I just love putting it into terms that they can understand, using the senses. Like we are like something you can touch, something you can hear, a song, something you can see, visuals, videos, using all these things to just try to make it stick in their hearts. I think VBS this year was the first year that we introduced like some real worship music with the kids, and just seeing all of them with their hands raised and like singing the words. And it just like, that's just what I was like, this is why I'm doing this. And it was, we found
that's
all
why.
of like
We got the Forrest Frank in there. And
I was going to say, was that where I first heard the name Forrest Frank?
the kids love him. Yeah. The kids showed him to me.
I saw that
Haley
picture
did.
with all their hands raised in worship. Like you came home and showed that to me, and I was like, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real.
Yeah, so Isabel found these videos that it's like a shadow in the background doing these motions.
Kid Cardia on YouTube, little commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, so she found them.
awesome.
Matt helped us get these videos, and now we play those for the kids instead of our, along with, but mostly instead of our other worship videos we were using.
Kids' music kind of sucks most of the time.
Yeah.
So
It's
these
like-
kids are loving these. Like
it's real worship songs that we sing in church, but with the Just Dance figure in the background doing the movements and stuff, but like it's just songs they're hearing in church and on
we got church clap
Christian
on there.
radio and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been
Once
a big
those
win for
songs
worship.
get down, like you said, like kids worship isn't that great, right?
No.
But I still remember the not so great ones from the 70s.
Oh yeah,
Like
they stick with you.
I can do all the hand motions.
can I.
too.
We were
Still,
we were just
yeah.
talking last night
Yeah.
at youth group about this little light of mine. I'm gonna
Oh,
let it
yeah.
shine. Which is great.
No, I was thinking, like, I know them in 2 languages because then we missionaries in Haiti, right? And
do
the
it in
only
English,
thing,
then
oh
French,
gosh, so
then-
now they're in my brain forever. I got the where? Yeah. What's your motivation?
There's a few of them that stick. Yeah.
Josh, what's your motivation?
Yeah. So for me, I'll echo what they said, but I think if I'm being completely honest, the motivation probably that gets me up and does it is I love sports, and I love being a part of a team and being a team player, and so when you see you're like, hey, there's a need, kind of like Cody, and I think maybe it's a man thing too. Like we like to step up, when there's a need or fix a hole. But yeah, I think the motivation really comes down to, hey, we're so blessed with so many kids coming, and there's and so you see it as an opportunity. Like, hey, this isn't. It's not a shameless plug when we're asking for kids volunteers. This is you got an opportunity to step to the plate and be a part of the community gathering that plays a big part on a weekend service to have the kids come in and let them have a world-class church service that's tailored directly to their age. We used to use the Orange curriculum here. One of the things I really enjoyed and learned from the Orange curriculum is this idea of age specific. I mean, they had done so much research. I think they had a book for like every single age from 0 up to 18, and said, hey, here's ways that you can teach your kids about Jesus at this particular age. And so again, this idea though of, hey, when we come on a Sunday morning or a Saturday night, and we're gonna have a place for kids to come in, and I get the opportunity to come in and to share that with, and there's a lesson specifically for them that's already laid out. I mean, the prep work's pretty much done from what are we gonna do. I just gotta study and say, hey, here's how it's gonna be presented. The motivation for me just comes, I love being a part of the team.
Yeah. And that's often overlooked, people wanting to find their place within the church or wanting to know others and to also be known. We talk about groups. We talk about getting involved. One of the ways to get involved is once you're serving and you're on a team, you do get that effect of working with others. And then it isn't just about you serving the kids and seeing the life change that goes on within children or students or what have you, but now you're a part of a group. I'm thinking about, how many of our youth leaders, they're so tight, because they've served youth group. They've been to the camps and the retreats and the missions trips, and even with you and Jess, when you first came to our church, there was, you're like the poster children for diving straight in. Where do we serve and where can we be involved? And with Next Gen Ministries, you immediately found community. I mean, and you were new to the area. Well, you were both new to the area.
Yeah.
She's from further north of here.
Yeah.
You're from Indiana. Let's go. But you immediately became a part of the fabric of the Tabernacle family because you were serving and you were a part of a team like that. The other thing that you said that I think is important, there's a certain parent, and we're not criticizing I'm not criticizing. It's an easy way to start a fight in a church if you start talking about politics or parenting, right? This is the right way, this is the wrong way. Public school, homeschool, Christian school, no school, whatever, you want to do. But there are some parents that'll say, I want my kids to learn how to sit quietly in church. And that's fine. But then there's some people that maybe they're afraid that whatever they're getting in kids ministry is not going to be as good as sitting in church. And to your point, we do work hard to make sure that it's communicated in an age-specific way. And not to pit one curriculum over another, but I know in the last, what has it been, the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years, that I want our church family to know that our leaders, you leaders within Tab Kids, are thinking theologically about what kids are getting. Because and this is no criticism, I'm thankful for my Sunday school teachers and my VBS teachers. And, I'm sure that I don't remember half of the creativity that went into it, but my understanding of the Bible was kind of all over the place.
Yes, yeah.
It was this day, there was no consistency. It was this day we're talking about Paul. The next week it's David and Goliath. The next week, we're in, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. No, that never came up in Kids Min.
Kindergarten.
But can you talk about that just a little bit about what you're trying, or for the parents, maybe their kids are in Tab Kids, maybe they're not, and that's a fear. Like, how are you thinking about how they're getting gospel-centered, coherent Bible within Kids Min?
Yeah, so I love our curriculum. We use the Gospel Project, and my favorite things about it is it goes through the entire Bible, and it takes 3 or 4 years to go through the whole Bible. We go chronologically, so we don't go, there's like those few books that were actually early. It's a little confusing sometimes. Like sometimes you'll be in whatever and then jump to Job and then go back to Genesis or wherever. So it's chronological, which is important. And then the other thing that we do is every story, they point it back to Jesus or towards Jesus.
Yes.
So like right now we're in the Old Testament still, and where everything is just every story points towards Jesus. They rarely skip a story. I think they go through most of them. We just had an interesting one last week. Yeah. But it's like they're all important. We're in the prophets right now. We just learned about Prophet Hosea, which you're like, how would I teach that to a preschooler? But we did it, and we put it in age-appropriate terms, and it was important because we're talking about how there were men that talked about this man who was going to come and change everything and fix everything. And that's something that kids just don't usually hear about. I'm thinking
adults
about,
don't hear it.
Yeah, and so they're just hearing it all as one big story.
Wait. You're telling me preschoolers are hearing about the prophet Hosea?
Yeah, that was last week's.
I haven't preached through the prophet Hosea yet at our church. But this is the exact same thing that when the pastors get together and talk about preaching, that is one of our highest values in training preachers.
That it points to Jesus.
Yes, that every message has to point to Jesus. So you're saying you're doing the same thing with kids. So you could be David and Goliath.
Yep.
It could be the story of David and Goliath, right? Or the story of Jonah. And you're still tying it, making Jesus the hero.
Yeah, every lesson has they call it the Christ connection, and they connect it to Jesus. And it's there every week, and we love that part. And then
that's next level.
It's so cool.
Like that is absolutely, and I'm not just saying this to hype you guys up. I get excited about that because of my own experience growing up in a pastor's home, a missionary's home, always in church. And I didn't learn how to do that or those connections until after college. I went to Christian University. I took Old Testament and New Testament, and that type of exposition of the Word is something that is our aim here at the Tabernacle. And I've just come out of my seat hearing that, our children are learning that.
Yeah.
Because that's massive.
And the chronological piece too, because similar, when I was in Sunday school, we would hear about Paul, and then the next week we'd hear about David and Goliath, and then Daniel in the lion's den, and they're just like all these stories. I learned all these stories, but then it wasn't until I was in college that I learned, all these people in Genesis, they're all related, and there's a family tree, and they're all connected, and this is the same family that had this happen to them, and all those stories are just bam, 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 bam. And just learning that even was like mind-blowing to me, that they weren't just Bible stories, Sunday school stories. They were, it was one story.
Yeah.
That leads to Jesus. Yeah.
That's next level. So let's go back to the 3 years. So is it in a 3-year span of time they go from Genesis to the end?
Yep. So say a child started in preschool with Genesis 1. By the time they're in 3rd or 4th grade, they're getting to the end, Revelation. Okay. And then they're starting again. So then in 4th grade, they're going right back to Genesis.
Okay.
And then by the time they leave 5th grade, they're probably not all the way through, but all the way through the new, most of the New Testament.
Wow.
So hopefully the goal is, and at 6th grade has now joined Tab Youth, but the goal was originally that by the time they're out, they've heard the whole story, twice, or it's now
almost twice.
Once at a preschool level, and then second as, okay, I'm starting to remember things I can read and write now. Yeah. Wow.
And then when they're an adult, they're like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Even our leaders are learning every weekend along with the kids.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing is when a volunteer comes on and they're not sure and they're just like, I've never heard this story before, but this is really cool.
It happens to me all the time because I didn't grow up in church. And so all these Bible stories, I'm like, oh, interesting.
I didn't see the Christ connection.
So it's like,
hey, can I get some of that curriculum that might help my preaching just a little bit? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that is a thing. That's pretty important. I'm trying to remember how many years ago. I don't know if this is a Tab Kids thing, but it's our podcast. We talk about whatever we want. There was a couple years ago, there was a Christmas book that came out from Crossway. Belle, what was it called? It was called The
Biggest Story.
The Biggest Story. And
it's also one of our favorite.
Yeah.
We use it a lot.
We try to find ways to use it. Yeah.
So,
we just love it so much. Yeah.
So because I'm a pastor, you get all kinds of mailings. Do this giving thing, do this app thing, do this missions thing. Here's the latest book from whoever. If I read all the books they try to send us, But I saw this one, and it was The Biggest Story: How Christmas Relates to the Big Story of the Gospel. And it's beautiful artwork and this and that and the other. And it was, if you gave them your email address, they would send you 50 copies, or they would send you however many copies depending on the size of your church. So I just did it, and I'm like, we're not going to be the first 50 churches. We were, and we got this big case of these books, and we're passing them around on the staff, and they're children's books, beautiful artwork. And everyone's getting excited. We're like, oh, this is cool. And then I'm reading it, and I'm like, and I don't think we had any kids in our household at that time that I would have been reading the story to. I'm just reading it and then passing them to my friends that have little children. And we got so excited about it. We made the book
your Christmas series.
Our Christmas series. Victoria the Queen got super fired up about it. Yeah. And then we had all we were actually reading the story. I remember
before
Mike Anderson.
Each sermon,
with his deep voice. That's awesome.
What have they done with those books now? Because those are an incredible resource.
Yeah, we use them a lot.
And I don't want to spoil your thunder, because we do give them for baby dedication.
Yeah, don't buy them all, because you might just get one. No, they've made a bunch of similar ones. So the original one is just a storybook, probably, 8 or 9 chapters long. It's, not very thick. But they made a bigger one, The Biggest Story, Bible storybook. That's a big fat book, and it's similar. It goes through the whole Bible, but, in the same language that they're using, the kids' words, and everything's looking forward to Jesus. And when is he going to come? The snake crusher. When is he going to come?
The snake crusher. That's in the first chapter, right? Mm-hmm. Genesis. That's Genesis 1, 2, and 3. The promise that one will come to crush the head of the snake.
Yeah. And so they made that one. They made a actual Bible that's just I think it's just an ESV or a CSB. But then they have their notes and stuff in the sides, like for an older child. Mm-hmm. They made a family devotional book, an Advent book.
They have little kids ABC board book.
Mm-hmm.
that we got.
Verse memory cards and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
And you might be wondering why I'm going off about these books is, we were at the Ark, our family. When I say we, Isabel, her husband, and the rest of my wife and kids, we made an Ark trip. What was it, 10 years ago? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you were married, so I don't think it was quite 10. But there was a display, and the display. Have you been to the Ark?
I have, yeah.
Yes. Have you been?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys remember this display where they had all of these children's books behind glass. And the point of the display, because there's a lot of reading at the Ark that's, it's a great thing. Take your family, it's great, but there's a lot of reading. So if the kids are small, they're going to be distracted by the size of the Ark, and the adults are like, I want to read this and learn.
Yeah.
But the display was pointing out the fact that we have inadvertently contributed to children growing up with an idea that the flood was a myth based on the books that we're selling to kids. And so anybody and everybody can write a kid or make a kid's Bible, or this is Noah and the Ark Bible, or what have you. And they were speaking to the fact where when we leave out parts of the story in order to think we're making them age appropriate, or even some of the artwork was contributing to the fact that do kids really believe this, or does this just look like a Dr. Seuss book?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm butchering it, but that really got me thinking about this idea, and I want our church family to understand we're fighting that battle in Tab Kids by choosing very prayerfully and very carefully. No, we're going to preach the gospel and point everybody to Jesus. We're not just going to tell them stories of, Hey, little Josh, you can be like David too. Go find a rock and pick, go beat your giants. The whole thing is, it's really not about David, and it's really not about me beating my giants. It's about Jesus, about he's the one who conquers the giants in my life.
Amen.
And so that's also why I'm excited about this book, because it connects back to your point. You said you didn't even grow up in church.
Right.
But this one did, and it's like, how do we connect every story to the bigger story of the gospel? Because the Bible's better than Lord of the Rings, man. I mean, it is more than a trilogy. It's you spend a lifetime getting to know this book. So sorry for the rant. Agree, disagree. Feel free to push back. No, I prefer to beat my giants. Okay, last question. Well, there might be another one. Sometimes I lie.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I'm also hungry.
No, this has been good. As far as, what are you most excited about right now with what's going on within our KidsMin in particular? Or what's on the horizon? What are you excited about, or what's a vision, what's a dream?
So we have recently changed our rooms to having nursery, preschool, and then kindergarten, first and second graders together, and then third, fourth, and fifth graders together. So we did a little bit of an age switch. It's given us a lot more room in Cadillac personally for our numbers just to look a little bit more even across all the rooms. So we've seen some huge improvements with that, with just behaviors mostly, because it's when you have 12 people in a room instead of 20, it's a lot easier to keep them all engaged and kind of wrangled in. So we've seen some huge improvements in that, and I'm really excited about that. I have some new volunteers starting. So it's just, we've got some good growth over there. We still have our one service, but we're averaging about 35 a weekend.
Wow. You guys are getting closer to 2. You're getting closer to 2.
Yeah. So it's been really cool. We've been over there. I've been there a year and a half now.
Is it a year and a half? Wow.
Yeah. So it's just, it feels like there was a lot of recovering things, kind of getting on top of things, and now it feels like we're growing. We're able to steady
You're
grow.
ramping up.
Yep. So that's what I'm excited about.
What am I most excited about?
What do you have coming up soon, Isabel? What's coming up soon?
Oh, well, yeah. I'm getting excited for, first of all, we just have had so many new volunteers, which is awesome. I trained 6 new people in one weekend, which I will not do again. That was a lot. It was just exciting that I had 6 people to train. And so, yeah, I think my goal is always just trying to get consistency for the teachers, for the kids, trying to get them, if I could get everyone on a schedule where they just know, the third Sunday I'm on. Okay.
Yeah. But people have lives.
Yeah, they do.
Like
Lives happen for sure. So I'm always trying to figure out a way because I just feel like it makes it easier for my teachers too. I don't want them to get burned out. I'm always trying to figure out ways to, avoid the burnout. We've got some good team building stuff coming up, hopefully. A little training that we're going to do soon. Surprise, Josh.
Surprise, Josh.
But no, I think a lot of the other ministries, like, you think worship ministry, they have the same team for the whole weekend and they get to sit in a room together after and they get that time. So it's just hard to get all of Tab kids together.
Because there's usually kids around.
And there's always important stuff to talk about. And you can't catch everyone on a weekend and, someone might serve once a month. So I might only see them once a month. And so, we're just...
That's the thing about all the Tab Kid volunteers is they make up the majority of the kids also coming. So, like for summer camp, I remember we'd be like, okay, we're going to meet 15 minutes before everybody else gets here so we can talk about the night and pray. And then everybody, they show up with...
55 children.
Yeah. Or like, never mind, we don't want to meet before. Please wait until it starts.
Wow.
We love when parents serve. But it is funny. Most
they all have their kids there in the meeting.
It's like, why do we all have so many kids?
That's because you love kids.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah. Josh will multiply. Just obedient.
Josh, are you teaching this weekend?
Yeah.
You bring a leaf blower?
No.
Are you falling off of a stool?
Good chance.
Did you do that? He fell off a stool?
You don't remember that?
I must have.
He hurt himself.
An axe when
What story was that?
I must not have been
Peter's
here.
preaching, and all of a sudden the guy at midnight
falls out the window.
Falls
right?
out the window and falls down.
So he's sitting on a stool, telling the story. And the kids are just kind of like, because it's a story. And then he's just like, and then the guy, whoa! And he fell and boom, it was so loud.
Did you actually get hurt?
And he did it for all three. You did it for...
Well, the kids love it. And they're like, do it again, do it again.
I think
so
you
you
were
got to do it
teaching
again.
twice.
I can't. Yeah. So
Did you hurt yourself on the first or the second?
By the third time, I got bruises on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Look at that man suffering for Jesus.
I forget. There was another story similar, and a new volunteer was in there with me. And by the second time I went to do it, they said, I can't have you do that. That's too dangerous.
Someone's worried about your
Everyone
safety.
has different gifts.
If you want to serve in
Some
Tab
people
Kids,
are
you don't
very safe.
actually have to be just like Josh.
No,
you don't do physical comedy.
Yeah.
But physical comedy can be painful.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen me do
that's
it.
great.
Yeah, broken ribs.
sad I
Don't
missed
do the
that.
bicycle kick
That sounds
again.
good.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So what I'm excited about, to answer the question, is I think you've been around now for what?
A long time.
Long time.
Yeah,
and so
22 years.
you saw Haley when she was in Tab Youth.
Yeah. That's right.
and-
Firehouse.
Yeah,
Let's go. OG.
OG Firehouse.
And so now to watch her growing up and serving the kids, I think the excitement when you start
On staff.
on staff, and you start seeing the young people start owning their faith, and so I've been around here for to see some of these kids come through now, and to see the ways that they're serving. Sometimes serving in the cafe, serving ushering, even serving in Tab Kids. It's just exciting to know that going back to training kids up in the way that they should go, knowing that they will not depart from it.
Right.
And that's not me. That's just Proverbs 22:6.
I got it right here.
Yeah, you got it right there.
Yeah.
But I think that so the other thing is just exciting to see that, and I just when you talk about culture as a whole, there's a hunger for the truth, and I see the kids getting excited about wanting to know truth. They're bombarded with so much in social media, schools, or just being around other kids. And so when we're giving them the truth, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it on them, and they're getting excited to go share others about it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we could go. I don't want to really open up the can, but there's a lot of talk of revival happening.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And especially in the younger generation.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting to be a part of that, and knowing like, hey, we're playing a small part and continuing to equip them with the tools that they're asking for, that they're hungry for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that too, because I remember growing up around 5th, 6th grade, it starts setting in where you're like, when are people going to stop talking to me like I'm 4? Like, can you just give it to me straight, please? You know, like just tell me something real. Tell me something that's like can actually impact my life and not just, a story. And so I think about the 6th graders that just joined Tab Youth and get to hear, Braden's teaching and stuff. Yeah. And I remember being that age and wanting so badly, I can't wait till I'm in Firehouse. Can't wait till I'm in, now it's Tab Youth. But I mean, I think about all of those little stinkers that, were having trouble sitting still this last year because they're kind of getting to that age where they're like, all right, like, they're ready for something bigger. And like, now they're going to go up to Tab Youth and it's just, I love
challenged.
that we challenge rather than baby,
Yeah.
Well, and when they're learning how to find the books in the Bible and we're teaching them, chronologically, when they get to youth group, they're more ready to go through the Bible like we do.
Mm-hmm.
We've, in Cadillac, this is our first year for youth group out there, and it has been the best. We've got our most kids in one night has been 12. That's happened the last 2 weeks, a different 4. But we've had the same 8 kids from the very beginning come every single week.
Yeah.
And
so cool.
we have fun. We eat. We all sit down at 2 big rectangular tables together. So there's been the 8 kids and then 4 of us adults. Yeah. And so just the 12 of us sit around this table together. Adam reads the word. They all have Bibles and they all are reading through it with us, and they're just like all sold out for this. It's really been cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, like seeing them start out so little and then now at youth group, we're like, yes, like it's so cool. So a little shout out to the youth group has just been super fun.
I'm sad because I just like listen to that. I started as a youth pastor.
You miss it. Come on out next Wednesday.
Yeah, come on next gen. Let's go.
Let's go. It's fun.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So summer, are we doing what we've called VBS again?
Yeah, we call it summer camp.
We call it summer camp.
Summer camp's better.
Yeah.
Get rid of the lingo.
Yeah, get rid of the lingo. Thank you. Yeah,
summer camp. Yep.
I thought Josh was going to say he was most excited about starting a sports camp next year,
yeah.
but no.
I'm excited.
Did I say that out loud?
I'm excited for Christmas. We usually just do so the Gospel Project is awesome, but it's usually very chronological, and so like the first year I was here, Christmas was like
Revelation.
I think it was.
It was.
Come on, man, it's Christmas.
And I was going, it's Christmas. And so anyway, then they started doing like a one-off. So then one year, instead of like doing that one story we had, it was like whether, we were in 1 Kings, Christmas, back to 1 Kings. And then so this year we're actually going to have like a little mini series and, do four sessions
about Christmas
and like the whole story, like how Jesus was prophesied and how the angel came and spoke to his parents, and then Jesus born, and then the wise men, and like everyone's going to be a different week, and I'm just excited about that because
Now, did you come up with that, or did the Gospel Project do that?
Well, they have
or they provided it.
They have a package I purchased to be able to do this, but I love Christmas, and I was sad that every week or every year it was just
1 Kings.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's Christmas, and then go back to And so we are, skipping
a big deal.
a few stories in Daniel, I think, but I feel like it's worth it for the kids to be able to get the whole like picture of what was happening at the time, and
Well, the reason I asked that, I'm so excited because we're in the Book of Acts, and as we come up to Christmas here in 2025. And our series, we're going to take a break from Acts and do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the Gospel Project was doing that.
Well, we chose to do it. It was like an additional thing, but I felt it was worth it.
Yeah.
Because
ours is 4 weeks long.
Usually Christmas, they're all just
like,
look
at what the angel said to Zechariah, then what the angel said to Mary, then to Joseph.
We should make sure they match up.
I don't know if they match up.
I just hearing you talk, I'm like, I think they do match up. Because the first one is...
And then we're doing the wise men right after.
Yeah,
they might match up perfect.
How did that happen on accident?
I have it was a meeting with Victoria and Adam Ray and myself, and we just said this is what we're doing. So this is cool. Thank you guys so much for coming on here. Thank you for your service. It's an important one. the most important one. The most important thing I think the church can do, besides bringing glory and honor to the King, preaching the gospel, the word, is to train up that next generation, because they are the church. They're the future church. And so I appreciate each one of you. And what did we leave anything out? Is there anything else that we need to just get out on the airwaves about Tab Kids, besides the fact that you rock?
I don't think so.
We didn't have Manistee here today, but Manistee is crushing it as well.
Yeah, Rainey is doing great.
We've got a brand new leader down there, and we had a great one before, Valerie. And I always get excited when I see the numbers, because I don't get to know everybody, but to see how they're growing, not just in how many kids are coming, but in their volunteers. And I know she's super fired up. So
yeah, I think our kids teams are awesome, and everybody that serves, like, they're all just killing it.
they're killing it. Matt, you got anything about Tab Kids?
I want Cody back.
I'm working on it.
He wants Cody back. Fight.
He might want to stay, but I am working on getting him back to you. If he wants to stay, that's his choice.
Matt said he cannot argue with the reasoning, but we love Cody and we love you guys. So, Tab family, if you want to serve with Tab Kids, please connect with a children's ministry director closest to your campus, or a volunteer, or a campus pastor. Be a part of the action. We always encourage people to serve 1 hour, worship 1 hour, if that works with your life. And I know you guys are working hard to make sure that once you say yes to Tab Kids, it's not just forever and ever and ever. It's just every week, all the time, unless you want to, unless you're a glutton for it like Josh is, because you're all down with the serve 1 hour, worship 1 hour. But, you can serve once a month, twice a month. What is the process, just real briefly as we close? Like, if someone does want to become a Tab Kids, because we do have a process, because we want to keep everybody safe.
Just have to fill out the necessary background check stuff.
Yeah,
and
go
then
right to the website.
Yeah, we like to meet them, make sure you're not
Crazy.
you got to be a little bit crazy.
A little bit crazy.
Yeah, there's got to be an element
the appropriate
of crazy.
numbers of, or the appropriate percentages of crazy.
Yeah, and then you just got to be willing, I guess, to try. Like, yeah, we love when people come in and they're like, I don't know, but just stick me somewhere, and like, I'm willing to try, and we'll see what sticks. And so just a willingness to say yes to Jesus.
Very cool. So say yes.
Yes to Jesus.
Yes to Jesus, and sign up for Tab Kids. He wants you to do it. I know he does. All right. Please share this podcast with somebody, maybe somebody who's new to the church, doesn't know what's going on with our children's men, or someone who's considering becoming part of the church, or someone who needs to put their kids in Tab Kids. Who knows? We don't know. Did I say that out loud?
You did. You sure did.
Yeah. We won't go any further. Stop.
You usually do.
Stop. Okay, I've got too many filters. All right, Tab family. Until next time, this is Josh Sprunger, Isabel Crawford, Haley Kroupa, said it right, and Lord Matthew Corey Hughes, our executive producer, signing off.